You're listening to the Confidence Alchemist radio show with your host, the Confidence Alchemist himself, Keith Blakemore Noble. To find out more, visit theconfidencealchemist.com. But not before you've listened to this episode of the Confidence Alchemist radio show.
Welcome to this episode where I am thrilled to say that my guest is meditation-based life coach Scott Murden. Now, Scott teaches a lot of interesting stuff around meditation and confidence. And I say a lot of interesting stuff. One of the reasons that I was excited about having Scott on here is he comes at this from a very, very different perspective and different approach than I do. So I am very much going to be learning a lot of things on today's episode. I'm looking to get a much deeper understanding of some of the things that Scott's going to be sharing with us. So it's going to be a very interesting journey of discovery for all of us, I would say. Now, Scott. He all his teachings are based on his own direct experiences of working with clients, one-to-one healing. He does past life regression, etc. He does a lot of coaching, and he has also done work in the mental health sector for the past eight years, dealing with all types of challenges, severe mental health issues, grief, trauma. My goodness, heavy stuff indeed. Now, he's also spent an amazing 12 years as a student with the Claire Vision School of Meditation, Learning and with the Claire Vision School of Meditation, where he's been learning and integrating their third eye-based practices. And he spent the past couple of years working with master shamans, including deep in the Amazon rainforest in Brazil, which I've got to say is pretty impressive. Just before we came on air, I was having a chat with Scott, and we were discussing India and living out in Bali, where I lived for a while. But I've got to say his experiences in the Amazonian rainforest completely trump anything that I've had there. So, hey, Scott, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, Keith, how you doing? I'm great, thank you.
Good.
How are you doing? Thanks for having me on the show.
Hey, my absolute pleasure. I'm doing fabulously as always, thank you. How about you? Whereabouts in the world are you at the moment?
So, yeah, I'm currently in London. I'm here for the summer. We were just talking before, I'm sort of here. I've moved out to Goa in India where my girlfriend lives, so I'm sort of based out there most of the year now, but out here for the summer. I've got a few regular clients that are based here, so doing some work with them, doing some workshops, working with some of the shamans that you mentioned from the Amazon that are about to come out here and do some work. And yeah, just catching up with friends and some amazing communities that I'm part of here, and enjoying the London at its best in the summer. Nice, yes. I rather suspect the summer's not quite the same as you're used to out in Goa, but hey, it's better than nothing. Not quite. But, there's so much to do here. Like London's always felt like the center of the world to me. So many different people, different cultures. It seems to me everything either starts in London, or if it starts somewhere else, it very quickly comes to London. So it's definitely an exciting city to live in and visit. Absolutely. It's I live up in the northeast of Scotland, but I visit London regularly. I used to live there at one point, and you're right. It's a massive melting pot of cultures and experiences, and pretty much you name it, you can find it somewhere in there. I love it. Very diverse. Yeah. So I kind of gave quite a bungled description of my understanding of what it is you do, but you can't beat getting it from the horse's mouth, as it were. Scott, who are you? What do you do? Share who you are and what you do for those who've yet to have the pleasure of experiencing you. Sure. So I call myself a meditation-based life coach. And basically what I do is I take meditation-based techniques and I teach those techniques to my clients, but then there's a sort of coaching aspect to what I do where we apply what we learn in the practices to their life. And that's where they start to make, through that, they start to make changes in their life. They start to see things in their life change. So, I mean, it starts with meditation, but actually it kind of goes, what we tend to explore a lot is, you know, the feelings that come up, the things that make us really uncomfortable in life, which is like, you know, the resistance that we have in our experience. And that could be fear, that could be, you know, it could be anger, it could be anxiety, these type of things. And then what I try to get my clients to start to feel is a sense of what I call authentic desire, which, you know, is a term that's used, you know, a lot in coaching circles, in tantra circles, for example, as well. But it's simply that feeling that you want to have in your life. And the reason why I use meditation-based techniques to explore that is because it actually gives you a way to feel it in a very authentic way. Because what I've noticed is what we tend to do is we're generally, as human beings, we're very stuck in our minds and in our thoughts. And we think about things a lot, but it isn't, what we think isn't necessarily reflected in actually what we're feeling or what the reality of our experience is. So it's, you know, meditation is, and then you know, using what you learn in meditation as, you know, as a mindfulness practice, it just gets to your reality really quickly. It cuts through all the sort of mental things that are going on and all the emotional distractions that are there. And what I noticed is, you know, so basically, I mean, my story is I did 10 years of really deep meditation work and healing work and past life regression with the Clear Vision School. On the side, I was always sort of exploring Tantra. And, you know, I went on a really incredible inner journey with all of that. And I had quite an amazing life. I was married. I had a job as a life coach in the mental health sector. You know, I was also a filmmaker. You know, I traveled a lot. But I sort of found that even though I was able to sort of navigate my life quite well, it wasn't kind of, something was missing, and I wasn't getting actually what I wanted in my life, and I didn't actually know what it was that I wanted in my life, like what was missing. And then I really started digging into, you know, I was part of some really interesting communities, and just started exploring what it is I wanted to actually feel in my life. And when I started feeling that, and these different feelings that sort of came up, they were just there in my experience through these sort of meditation. You know, it was very experimental at that stage. Suddenly, that to me, the light bulb moment for me was that these feelings that were coming up actually were a way of guiding me to what I actually wanted to do with my life. You know, so what I wanted to feel in my life, what was coming up for me at the time was, you know, wanting to feel magical, or wanting to feel, you know, feeling electric in my body, or feeling a sense of freedom and liberation, or, you know, the other one was really interesting, was wanting to feel a little bit dangerous in my life, because my life felt amazing, but it felt very safe at the same time. And so those sort of feelings kind of gave me, they became my guide. And so I had all these, you know, different possibilities and opportunities, and my mind was analyzing everything. But actually, when I just felt it, I knew straight away what I wanted to do. And so things really shifted really quickly, and I actually ended up very quickly leaving my job in the mental health sector, it wasn't giving me any of those feelings in my life anymore. And then I went on sabbatical for 3 months. I went to California. I went and just did some deep meditation work with my wife. But at the end of that 3 months, I actually realized that my marriage was at an end. Like, I wasn't getting any of those feelings that I wanted to feel. And I actually realized through that our lives were going in very, very different directions. And I wouldn't say, I had a really amazing relationship with my ex, really beautiful relationship, but the possibilities that were there for me was taking me in a very different direction than it was for her. And as soon as I had that realization, our marriage kind of unraveled very, very quickly within a matter of a few weeks. And that was very difficult, but because I was connected to these feelings, it felt really right. And then, like a few months later, I found myself in the middle of the Amazon, 4 days boat ride up a river, spending a few weeks with this tribe and learning about, the tribal culture of the Amazon and, their sort of, their music and their belief systems and, their sort of spiritual practices. And, and I just went on this massive journey, and none of it made sense to me. And people would ask me, what are you doing with your life? You're making all these crazy decisions. We're really worried about you, but you seem really happy. and it just led me on this really beautiful journey. And then through that, I was also, a filmmaker, and I've been a filmmaker for about 15 years. The same thing happened. I just realized that I was done with it, and it wasn't giving me what I wanted to feel in my life anymore. And so I quit my film. I had a film company. I had some amazing projects I was working on, and within a few weeks, I just quit it all. And then I had to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And this is what was really interesting, was that having let go of all of these things, that thing that I really wanted to do with my life, that gives me a sense of purpose, just suddenly became very apparent. And I'd been doing that thing all my life. And that's when it just became very clear I needed to start doing my coaching work again, and the healing work that I did, but actually take it seriously and do it full time and really commit to it. And since I did that, my work's been really satisfying, and it's been great, because this journey that I went on, actually, I realized that's what my clients were actually looking for. And so getting them in touch with what they wanted to feel in their life became the shortcut for them. Because a lot of people, we think we need healing. We have all these emotions that we're trying to understand. We're going to therapy to figure it all out. But actually, what we all really want is just to connect to a feeling and to feel that in our life. And so that's that's what I do with my clients now, and I'm trying to get them to connect to that feeling and live their life from those feelings. Life unfolds from that place, and they go through some very dramatic shifts very quickly, and some of that's very difficult for them to go through, but ultimately it gets them to that experience that they actually want to start having. So that's basically the nutshell of what I do. Basically.
That's Scott in a nutshell. Cool. And hopefully we're going to be talking a little bit about some of the meditative stuff, meditative techniques a little bit later in the show. But what I wanted to ask you first was, this is called the Confidence Alchemist Radio Show. We're all about confidence. Yeah. So, Scott, what was your experience of confidence when you were growing up?
Yeah, I never had it. I don't know what happened, but I was one of the kids that didn't get any confidence. A lot of my friends had it, but I was always the shy, introverted kid, and I had a lot of experiences where, I remember the first time I somehow ended up being the captain of the cricket team, and I didn't realize that I had to give the